Welcome to the airplane. Today I'm flying the Piper Aztec. This is a 1962 B model version of the Aztec. It's a 6-seat aircraft. This is the first of the long nose Aztecs. They did make the nose even longer, but this has got not the stub little nose that the Apaches had on it. This is a great, big, roomy, comfortable, solid airplane to fly. It's a lot of fun to fly. It's a very expensive airplane to fly. You're looking at $4,400 for a basic annual if nothing else is wrong with the airplane. And the chances that nothing else are wrong with the airplane, especially when you start making them fairly complex, is quite low. I think you need to be looking at a minimum of $75 an hour reserve to pay for engine and propeller overhauls and wear and tear on the airframe, brakes, landing gear, and things like that. That's assuming that your airplane is starting off in excellent condition. If you've bought a cheap one, $20,000, $30,000, it's going to need a lot of work investing in it to get it going. Insurance on the airplane really is going to depend on what the hull value is and how much liability you want to cover, but you could easily be looking at $3,000 a year, and you could take that up to $5,000 or $6,000 if you have a very expensive model of the airplane. That would be full IFR, autopilot, up-to-date systems, boots for de-icing, and say a turbo model. You know, if it's really nice, good paint, you could be looking at over $200,000. The airplane, while expensive, you do get some benefits from all that expense. Speed is one of them, although an Aztec is not the speediest of twins. It certainly doesn't keep up with a Cessna 310 or a Beech Baron, but it will carry a huge load. This model's got a 2,100 pound useful load, and you can put 820 pounds of fuel on board, 144 gallons total, about 136 usable. So excellent range, excellent load carrying capacity. You can have 6 full adults in here, 3-4 hours of fuel, and 300 pounds of baggage, and you can really go somewhere. So, I mean, that you're paying for it, but you get to go somewhere. But if you are traveling with that many people, the per-person cost is quite good. Right now, flying with one person, it's a terrible airplane, really, from an economy standpoint. You could be doing the same speed that I am at the moment in a Mooney for 10 to 12 gallons an hour. I'm flying at 55% power at 6,500 feet, and we're burning 19.5 gallons, 19.8 gallons of fuel an hour, and we're doing 145 knots. We could increase that speed to 175 knots, but for about 28, 29 gallons an hour. So almost a 50% increase in our fuel burn for a 20% increase in our speed. So if you can slow down a little bit, much more economy, much greater range. Performance, the short field performance, the takeoff performance of the Aztec is great. It also has good single engine performance. This model will fly on one engine at gross weight up to 8,800 feet, which is excellent. You know, not like the poor little Apaches that only had a sort of 2,000 foot service ceiling on one engine. So it's got good performance. It's got a really thick wing. It stalls at 62 miles an hour in the landing configuration, 72 miles an hour clean. You can approach a small short field, 1,800 feet or so, not a problem, and it'll get up and go, and it'll climb very well. Single engine speed, best climb speed is 110 miles an hour on this model, and the single engine safe speed is 80 miles an hour on this option. But there is some modifications to the dorsal fin that can be obtained to reduce that to about 72 miles an hour. That then lets you confidently fly slow approaches with a safer single engine speed, which is a nice feature. Now, in terms of modifications, a lot of mods are starting to become unobtainable. A lot of companies that made stuff for the aircraft are no longer in business. A lot of STCs that exist for the airplane, you can't get anymore. They didn't build anywhere near as many Piper Aztecs as they did, say, 172s or 150s, and there's a lot less of them flying because they're so expensive to fly. They burn so much fuel, and they're very expensive to keep. So that's something to be careful of. That brings in your price point, too. I mean, you can buy an Aztec for $20,000, but you're probably going to have to put $5,000 of fuel in it, maybe do some engine work, overhaul the propellers, put a heater in it for $6,000, and then you still have, you know, a worn-out paint job, a busted-up interior, and a bunch of radios from the 70s. So, you know, $30,000, $250,000, big range, and options, turbos, de-icing, and avionics and autopilots are all going to affect that. Other operating costs are, yeah, I mean, we've got complex engines, or not complex per se, but we've got bigger engines, more cylinders, more spark plugs, 4 magnetos, 2 propellers, they're constant speed propellers, so now we're overhauling them every 10 years in Canada. My model is an early model with early model Hartzell constant speeds, full feathering, props, and I have an AD on them, and I've got to get them looked at every 5 years, which adds about $3,000. Doesn't sound like a lot, but when you start adding everything up, it does start to turn into some pretty big numbers. Now, you're going to have to get some training on the airplane to be able to fly it, and that adds some cost if you don't have training already. Most insurance companies, if you're a 1,000 sort of plus hour pilot, are going to require you to have at least 10 hours of dual time on the airframe. Multi-engine training, though, is really rewarding. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot more happening, and it's a nice skill set to add. But I think you've got to have a mission for this airplane. It's not, let's hop 25 miles and have coffee at the next airport. You want to be going places. You want to be taking a good load of people and stuff and really flying somewhere 3-4+ hours away, or even longer trips, multi-day trips. That's where this airplane is going to earn its keep, and that's what it's all about. So if you're not doing that, it's really not the airplane. And you also need to keep in mind that a twin is only safer if it's well maintained. You know, a poorly maintained twin is less safe than a well-maintained single. So there's no point in having a twin, but then not being able to afford the insurance, the maintenance, the fuel, and skipping out on maintenance. And that happens to a lot of them. Then they don't get upgraded, and then lots of them are just being scrapped right now because they're the engines are worth more than the airplane. People take the engines off, sell the engine to someone else that needs an engine for a mall or another type of aircraft, single-engine aircraft. They get more money than the Aztec was worth in its dilapidated condition, and the rest of it goes to a salvage yard. So that's kind of a pretty disappointing end to a lot of the airplanes. But, as I said, wonderful, stable platform, nice IFR aircraft, very capable, good load carrying capacity, and just really different. And I really like this one. I'm obviously a little biased as it's my own airplane, but I've been able to resurrect it. It was pretty much in the same state that I mentioned. It was going to be torn apart and scrapped, and I, over the last couple of years, completely redone the thing, got to build the panel how I want. But I like the old aircraft, and I like the way stuff's set up, and it's a very neat airplane. And I've had a lot of really great experiences flying all over the place with it, with friends and camping and things like that. So a really wonderful airplane. A great example, though, of how expensive things can get. I had a leak in the hydraulic hand pump. The O-ring that I needed to replace was about 40 cents. Took me 10 hours of work to get in there, get everything torn apart enough, get it changed, get the aircraft on jacks, bleed the hydraulic system, put everything back together. So, you know, if you have to pay for that at a mechanic shop, you could be $800 to $1,000 very quickly for a 40-cent O-ring that has to go in. So that is, you know, that's the downside. Unlike the 150 that's very cheap to fly, slow to fly, and doesn't carry much, this is very expensive to fly, but boy, can you put a lot of stuff in it, and you can go at a pretty reasonable pace. Well, I really hope that you've enjoyed the video and coming along on this beautiful day for a bit of a flight in the Aztec with me. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to find out about all the new videos that we've got coming up. I hope you're getting out there lots more and enjoying the summer weather that's starting to arrive. Happy tailwinds, and we'll talk to you all soon. Cheers.